Hello everyone, it's Becca from Becca Books and Bujo, and today we are playing my deck of TBR game for December. As always, I am so excited to figure out what I will be reading next month, but even more so because I have so many plans for next month. I am wanting to finish off my reading goals because December is the last month of the year, and then I also am co-hosting Merry Bookmas with Melanie from Completely Melanie and Laura Nettles. So there are prompts there that I need to fulfill, and I'm hoping to get a lot of books on my TBR to fulfill those prompts. But before we jump into playing the game for December, let's check out how I did in November. My first prompt was a librarian pick, and for that, my librarian, one of them, chose Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover, and I did read that book. Next I got TBR jar, and that jar picked out A Prayer for Owen Meany by John Irving. I have not read this yet. It is currently the 24th of the month. I've got 6 days left, and I have that book on audio. So I think I'll at least start it, and I'm going to count it that I did complete it. Next prompt was a spinner wheel, and for that, I had to pick a romance book, and I chose, oops, it's backwards here, If You Believe by Kristen Hanna, and I did complete that. Next up, I got a sister pick, and my sister Naomi chose Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson, and I did complete that. Next up, I got a book I know nothing about, and for that I chose The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, and I did complete that book. And lastly, I got a random number on my Goodreads, and for that I chose the random number, I should say, chose The Invisible Library. This is my Kindle representation. The Invisible Library by Genevieve Cogman, and I actually DNF'd that one at about 28%. So for the purposes of this game, I will say that is complete. Now, I've completed this TBR, and I would normally give myself a little reward. However, I'm going to give myself a special present for December because it is the Christmas season, and we like to give gifts during the season, so I'm giving myself a gift, and it's a pretty big one. I am giving myself 3 vetoes because I really need to get the books that I want to read and need to read for the prompts and various challenges for the end of the year on this TBR. So, 3 vetoes. If I get something terrible on this board, I get to veto it up to 3 times. And if you don't like that, too bad. My game. It's Christmas. Let's be nice to each other and ourselves. So, we're going to do that. 3 vetoes. And otherwise, I need to reset this. My bomb book last month was The Goldfinch. I didn't even get the Joker, but I chose my bomb book willingly, which I'm crazy. And, you know, I completed it, so we can get rid of this little prompt for good. Let's choose a new one. I can tell ya, if I get the bomb book, probably gonna veto it. Oh, that's a gross one too. The Swiss Family Robinson. Heck no. And I have 1 prompt to replace on the board. I'm gonna tell you now. This is the last month I'm playing with these prompts. One of my videos in December, because I'm doing Vlogmas and hopefully going to upload a video every single day in December, one of them is going to be going through all of my deck of TBR prompts and deciding which ones are good, which ones are not, if I want to add any, and then also changing up my prompts that stay on the board. So that'll be one of my videos, going through this game and making sure it suits me correctly for the kind of reader I am. Anyway, rambling too much. Hardcover book that I'm replacing that one with. All right, I think that's all the housekeeping. I should say I'll do this TBR first, and then at the very end of the video, I will be sharing my TBR for Merry Bookmas. We've got the cards, and I will shuffle. Oh man, you guys, I'm excited, but I need to get the books for my TBR on here. There's like 10 or 11 possibilities. It's a lot, but it's gonna happen. All right, first draw is this one, 7 of Hearts. Oh, this is an interesting one. This is a new one from one of my viewers. It has to have the letters T, B, and R in the title. Let's do some checking. This is not going well so far. B is a hard one. There's like... Oh, that could work. Okay. So, I'm going to do this one. The buzzword for the month is a sound word in the title, and my sound is actually going to be the word choir, because sound comes from a choir, and T, B, and R are in this title. This is the Chilbury Ladies Choir by Jennifer Ryan. This is a book I borrowed from my auntie and had it for way too long. Sorry, auntie, if you're watching this. But we've got the T in the, B, Chilbury, and R, choir, or Chilbury. So that's going to be my first book. It will help me complete my buzzword challenge for the year. To replace that prompt, we will choose this one, released 10 plus years ago. That would not be helpful for the books I want to get. And we will put the 7 of Hearts back in the deck and shuffle. Oop, I just saw a joker on the bottom there. Sorry, we'll shuffle that one in. Yeah, I have a lot of plans for December. Not only the Merry Bookmas prompts, but also just trying to read the Goodreads Choice Awards books that were nominated that I have on my physical TBR. If you haven't heard that I'm doing that, here's the Goodreads Choice Awards reaction video. Okay, book number 2. Card number 2 is a 3 of spades. Let's see what that is. 3 of spades. My mom gets to pick a book. Okay, well, I'm just going to send her some of the options. It's funny because she would definitely choose the Chilbury Ladies Choir for me. How do I do this? How do I do this, Mom? I'll just text her some options. Good, she's seen the text, so I gave her 4 of the options that I need for my Goodreads Choice Awards books, which is Wayward by Amelia Hart, The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young, Evil Eye by Etaf Room, and The Maid's Diary by Lorith Ann White or something. And she has already texted back. She chose Wayward by Amelia Hart, which I'm very excited for. It will fit into some of my prompts for Merry Bookmas and will help out with that Goodreads Choice Award. So, book number 2, and I actually needed one more book of the month for the year to complete my book of the month challenge. That will do it for me. Just saying, thanks, Mama. Good pick, Mom. Okay, this is going well so far. I haven't even had to use any vetoes. I could have used it for the TBR one, but it worked out in my favor. Okay, let's replace that 3 of spades prompt with this one. Self-care. This was a prompt one of you lovely viewers put in. I can't remember exactly who, but they said instead of reading a book, do some sort of self-care activity, which is very, very sweet. So we'll see if I get the 3 of spades again this round or not. But let's put that 3 of spades back in and shuffle. Ah, I'm excited. You know, sometimes this game really does work out for me. Sometimes it doesn't, but it's being nice for me for Christmas. All right, one more shuffle and we will pick card number 3. 9 of diamonds. 9 diamonds. Oh, it's trying to be helpful, but I don't know what book I have that is under 250 pages. Might have to do some research here. Please hold. Oh, one is so close, but not going to count. Am I really going to veto this? Okay, no, I'm not going to veto it. I'm going to pick the closest book to 250 pages that I can that's on my TBR. That's another gift. Okay, so for this, I'm going to read Find Him Where You Left Him Dead by Kristen Simmons. This is the group read for Merry Bookmas. It is a horror and kind of reminds us of Jumanji. So that is what I will be reading. It is 272 pages, so really close. Really close. Okay. Oh boy, I'm really helping myself out this month. Let's replace that prompt with this one. A celebrity book pick. So Reese's book club, Oprah's book club, Mindy's book club. Who else has book clubs? Any of those. Let's put the 9 of diamonds back in the deck. And we will shuffle. Geez, how does this get to the bottom every time, you guys? I don't. It's not on purpose. I promise. I'm playing fair. Kind of. She says as she cheated the last prompt. Okay. Here we go. 4th draw. It's a 10 of diamonds. Didn't we just have the 9 of diamonds? A dog pick? Well, I can do that. My dogs aren't very motivated by food, but let's let them choose a book. I'm going to give them the 3 physical options that I have, because that'll be easiest. I don't want to give them my Kindle to choose. So the first is The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. Then we've got Evil Eye by Etaf Room. And lastly, I know you guys, I know, I'm finally doing it. Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. So let's see how I can get my dogs picking a book. Okay, we just had French fries for dinner. And I think that Barrett will actually want to eat these. So, Barrett, come here. Come here. Want a treat? Come here. Couldn't be bothered. Come here, Bear. Come here. Should we try with Bonnie instead? Here comes Bonnie. Can you pick a book, Bonnie? Bonnie, right here. Look. Look. Okay. She chose The Unmaking of June Farrow. All right, so as you saw, we've got The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young on the TBR. It's going well. Don't want to jinx myself, but it is going well. Let's replace the 10 of diamonds with, I'm running low on prompts here too, so it's good I'm doing this prompt shuffle. LGBTQIA plus rep. It's going right there. My board is askew. The 10 of diamonds going back in the deck, and we will shuffle. How many? I've been doing pretty well of getting the books I needed on here. Oops. I got Find Him Where You Left Him Dead, and I got The Making of June Farrow. So, we're doing pretty well. Still lots of books that need to get on here, but alright, we'll shuffle once more for good measure. And our last draw will be 5 of spades. I think that'll be our last draw. Nope, I'm vetoing it. It's a graphic novel. Although, my volume of Heartstopper might be coming. Heartstopper Volume 5 is coming out in December. Let me check when that's officially coming, because I pre-ordered it. I feel like they keep pushing it back. Here it says. It says arriving December 19th. So I could just put Heartstopper on here. I guess I will. I'm going to choose Heartstopper, Volume 5 by Alice Oseman. Did I hear from someone that this is not going to be the conclusion of the Heartstopper series? If not, great. I love Nick and Charlie and would love to continue their story, but I also had heard that this was the finale. So, we shall see. But that will be my 5th book on the TBR. Is that it? Whoa. You ask for an easy game and then I guess you get it. You say you're gonna cheat a bunch, then you don't actually have to. So this is my teeny little deck of TBR stack. We had the first prompt, which was T, B, and R, those letters in the title, and I chose the Chilbury Ladies Choir by Jennifer Ryan. Then we had my mom pick, and she chose Wayward by Amelia Hart. Next we had less than 250 pages, we're going to say 275, and put in Find Him Where You Left Him Dead by Kristen Simmons. Then my dog Bonnie picked The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. And lastly, we got a graphic novel, and I will be reading Heartstopper Volume 5. So those are the books I need to read for my deck of TBR. But then we've got Merry Bookmas prompts, so let's go through those. We can double up on these prompts as much as we want, so you will likely see more than one book lifted up for these prompts, and that's just going to help me throughout the month. So prompt number 1 is A Partridge in a Pear Tree. And for that, you need to read a book with a bird or a fruit on the cover. And I specifically put Wayward on here because there's a bird and fruit on the cover. So this will be my Partridge in a Pear Tree prompt. Next, for 2 turtle doves, we need to read a romance or a book that involves friendship. And I can't go through December without reading a Christmas romance. And so for that, I'll be reading Royal Holiday by Jasmine Guillory. This just happens to be the next book in the Wedding Date series that I need to read. I think it's book number 4 out of 6. So yeah, I'm going to put that one in here. I also need to read 7 Days in June by Tia Williams, so either of those could count as my romance prompt. For 3 French hens, we need to read a translated book or a book set in a country other than your own. What did I have for this one? I don't know what I had. I think I had The Royal Holiday because I assumed it took place in a country with royalty, which is not the United States, but I'll just put in the Chilbury Ladies Choir. This takes place in an English village in World War II, so that counts. Chilbury. Chilbury Village. So we'll put this one in for book set in a different country than your own. For 4 Calling Birds, we need to read a dark book in either color or theme. And for this, I'm trying to decide. Yeah, okay, I decided. I'm just going to slot in Find Him Where You Left Him Dead by Kristen Simmons. It's a horror. I assume it's dark in content, and it also has a dark cover. So that'll be that one. For 5 Golden Rings, we need to read a book with foil on the cover. And I know it's maybe not necessarily foil, but it's shiny. So we're putting in Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. For 6 Geese A-Laying, we need to read a book that is part of a series. And for that, I'm just going to go ahead and put The Royal Holiday again by Jasmine Guillory. For 7 Swans A-Swimming, we need to read a beautiful book. And I really like this cover. I like the nature. I like the stars. And so I will be reading The Unmaking of June Farrow for a beautiful book. 8 Maids Milking isn't a book prompt. I just have to share my favorite holiday beverage. So I'll be doing that sometime throughout the month. 9 is 9 Ladies Dancing. Close your eyes and spin in a circle like the dancing ladies and pick your dancing partner or your book blindly. What books do I have left that I need to choose from? Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates. In the Likely Event. No, I'm reading that right now. The Maid's Diary, Evil Eye, and 7 Days in June. Well, I have a physical representation of Evil Eye. I also will use my Kindle for The Maid's Diary. And then I'll use this book that also represents my Kindle for Dead of Winter. And, do I have to film this process? I was going to put these in a circle around me and spin around, and whichever one I stop at, we'll pick it. That feels like it will be embarrassing. Plus, this room that I'm in that I do it is the kids' playroom, and it might be very messy in here. So I'm just going to do it on my own, and you can believe me with what book I come back with. I feel a little sick because I spun really fast, and I'm also a little out of breath. But I got this book, which I said was, did I say it was Dead of Winter? Come on, Becca. Yeah, I believe I said it was Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates. So I'm going to read this book. I thought it would be good for a winter month to read. book that's set in the dead of winter. I think this one is kind of like One by One by Ruth Ware, where a group goes skiing and they get picked off one by one. Hey, okay. Let's see. Where are we? We are on 10 Lords of Leaping to Conclusions. Read a mystery or thriller. For that, I'm also choosing Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates. While she's a horror writer, more generally, people say that this is a more thrillery book. So I'm putting this one in. Then we've got 11 Pipers Piping, which is just post your TBR on social media, so I'll do that. And lastly, 12 Drummers Drumming, read the group book. So I'll be reading Finding Where You Left Him Dead by Kristen Simmons. We did it! I did my random dance pick. Let's see, I'm only missing The Maid's Diary. I could try to get that done before the end of November. Evil Eye, I could also try to read before the end of November, or just stick it in somewhere in December. And 7 Days in June, which is my book club, my in real life book club, or my friend book club, whatever you want to call it. We call it the Honeybee Book Club. That's another book I need to read, and I have that on my Kindle. This is what I'm currently reading. Spoiler! So, we'll see. But I did really well getting most of the books on my TBR that I needed for Merry Bookmas, and who knows, I might also throw in whatever I get from Book of the Month. I normally get a Christmas romance there too, but let's just show you all the books that I hope to read. Some of them were Merry Bookmas prompts, some of them were just extra. Is that all the books around me? Here's some of them. I think there's like 10 or 11 books that I want to read in December to finish off some of my goals and readathons and such. So let me know if you read any of these books and what your thoughts were down below in the comments. Like this video on your way out. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more bookish and bullet journaling content from me. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!